Askreddit asks, what's something strange your body does that you know isn't quite right but also isn't quite serious enough to get checked out by a doctor? My knees, legs, and butt always vibrate. I don't know why. I might have a phone inside me. Edit. A lot of people are suggesting magnesium and I trust it.
A booty call perhaps?
This happens to me sometimes. I'll look down and a spot on my thigh is just randomly wiggling. Freaks me the fuck out.
I have one piece of hair on my arm that is white and grows super fast and can get way longer than I've ever seen an arm hair be before. Edit. This is my most upvoted comment. Thanks.
My sister has a single whisker that grows out of her forehead. You won't notice it until it's like 3 inches long. It's rigid and plucks very easily. Edit. One time when we were children, I plucked it when I was mad at her. I get sharp paint in my asshole every now and then. It feels like a lightning bolt for about 2 secs once every 2 months. Edit. My top comment is about asshole pain. God bless you, Reddit.
Proctalgia fugax. It's basically a muscle spasm. Not harmful, just incredibly painful for a few seconds.
Using the poop knife wrong. Clearly.
This thread made me feel like all bodies are weird and maybe I don't have a hidden tumor after all. Lol, thank you.
Or maybe we all have hidden tumors.
Lol, right? When I saw the title I went, oh shit. I'm about to freak out for 30 minutes. But then I went, maybe I'm not dying.
That's the spirit.
When I cough, a spot in the middle of my back itches like mad. Also, once every few months I'll turn my head a certain way and it feels like something snaps in my head and a sensation of warmth spreads out in my skull. Probably not a tumor.
I get red marks on my body after I work out and sweat a lot. But they quickly disappear as soon as I cool down again. 100% normal until I work out again. It also feels itchy when the red marks are there. But the itch disappears with everything else eventually.
Exercise-induced urticaria E. I'm really happy that so many people have found this bit of info useful. Usually it can be treated with antihistamines. I, personally, have it to the extent that I need a shot called Xolair. It's expensive, but if you work with an allergist, you can get it approved through insurance. There's also a waiver program. Good luck and stay give-free.
I will sometimes catch myself mouthing, whispering the last sentence or phrase I spoke. Drives me insane. Edit. I'd like to self-diagnose this as palilalia. Seems to be exactly what I have.
Drives me insane. Edit. Exactly what I have.
You break from the middle.
I feel the need to close my eyes very tight about once every 5 minutes. Hopefully it doesn't make me look like a complete psycho. This sounds like a motor tic. Motor Tourette's, I have the same thing. But I rapidly blink and clench my eyes shut like constantly. As well as raising and lowering my eyebrows. So yeah, great fun. It does. I knew an ADHD kid that did the same thing.
I have this. It sucks. ! Know any tips on stopping, reducing it?
Sometimes I feel a very acute short pain in my chest. For like 1/10 of a sec. It feels like it's in between the ribs. Like they pinched the meat. Happens rarely but been happening for years.
Does it get worse when you breathe? That's what happens to me.
Take a deep breath until it pops. URL redacted. Wiki. Precordial_catch_syndrome.
I get visual snow. That shit is annoying, but I don't know if there's a way to fix it.
I just googled what this is and didn't realize that it isn't a normal thing that everyone has.
Every once in a while holding a stack of books or a box or similar shaped stuff where the tips of my fingers bent but the rest was straight. My fingers would lock in place, so I'd have to move my arms and hands in a specific way to unlock them and move my fingers properly.
Have you noticed a lump on your wrist? Mine used to do this and it turns out I had a ganglion cyst.
At totally random times it feels like my heart keeps skipping a beat. And I feel short of breath. It goes on for a few hours usually and then stops. I get rubber band headaches sometimes when I focus on doing a certain task. Sometimes the muscles in my hand will tense up and I have to use my other hand to unfold it.
I have the first issue too. It is so uncomfortable that I have been to the ER 3 times for it and seen 2 cardiologists. Lots and lots and lots of tests later we found out that my body is super sensitive to adrenaline. Does this happen for you when there's a situation that induces adrenaline?
When I'm laying down my legs feel weird and I feel the urge to contract my muscles or IDK just rip them the fuck off. They don't hurt of anything, they just feel weird. Also I get all kinds of weird feelings, twitches, on my brain that are hard to describe.
Sounds like you may be experiencing restlessness leg syndrome.
Restless leg syndrome. I get this too. Magnesium is supposed to help, but I've never tried it.
I have moments for a few minutes once every couple of months where I have a huge memory lapse and nothing feels quite right.
Mate, this is serious and you should go to a psychiatrist or a neurologist to check it out. Memory lapses are a huge red flag.
Tell a neurologist. This is a symptom of some pretty serious stuff.
Sometimes. The inability to tell the difference between being nauseated and hungry.
That's not abnormal. The nausea is likely the result of a dip in your blood sugar.
Me too. Every now and then in the morning I feel kinda sickish, mostly in my stomach, and I can never tell am I hungry or have a shitty stomach or what. It goes away after a while, but always in the morning or late at night when I'm laying in bed.
When I sit in a position for too long and then arch my back. My breastbone cracks into place. Not sure if it is the breastbone, but definitely in my chest.
Ah yes, cracking your sternum. Best feeling ever.
Every single time I swallow, my ears pop.
Wait, this isn't normal?
Me too. I thought that was just supposed to happen.
You station 2 click you're welcome. Closing parenthesis dot.
My body doesn't let me know when I need to pee until it hurts. Like I could go a whole day without peeing and then wake up the next morning with intense stomach cramps that go away after a solid 5-minute pee. I can't tell you how many times I've been like, have I peed today? Well, you never know, and I sit down to discover that my bladder was full. Edit. It's nice to know I'm not the only one. After reading comments I'm worried it might be some pinched nerves in my spine or something, because I'm realizing I only began having trouble telling I need to pee after I fell and bruised my tailbone. I haven't had kids yet, so it can't be because of a C-section. But I did get frequent UTIs in middle school, around the same time I got my tailbone. Not sure if it was before or after that my mum never took me to get treated for. It lasted about 6 months and I would get so itchy that I'd scratch myself bloody. So it might be lasting damage from that. I also have ovarian cysts, so the person who suggested I get my uterus checked out, it never occurred that they might be connected. My parents grew up as migrants, so they never went to the hospital unless they were dying, and that mindset has transferred over to us, so they almost never take us to the doctors. I'm heading off to college in a few weeks though, so I might stop by a free health clinic or something since I'll finally be able to.
I mean, I got this checked out, but apparently I have a good tumor.
How good are we talking?
A what now?
It gets up before op and makes breakfast.
Are the kind that you want to marry?
Sometimes I can't swallow food or water. It's like my throat just randomly closes, and it isn't a food allergy either. I'm able to swallow if I quickly twist my neck to the side. It temporarily opens my throat. Doesn't happen often enough to warrant a doctor visit. Update. I have consulted a GI about reflux and was told that I have 0 symptoms of reflux. So I guess rule that out? I've seen a lot of comments about getting my thyroid checked. And I will, since a thyroid issue has come up in the family before.
Please see a doctor about this. Difficulty swallowing is a sign of some really unpleasant things coming down the pipe.
Not me, but my uncle. He's almost 70 now. Over the past few years he has gotten more and more grumpy. Yeah, nothing to worry about. His uncle was like that too. Something old people get. He never wanted to see a doctor. Even if his cold didn't seem to go away after 2 months a few years ago. That was bronchitis. Progressed to pneumonia. He still has a nasty cough. About a month ago my grandmother was celebrating her 93rd birthday with her children. My uncle just sat there, staring in the distance, and when trying to talk he just mumbled. My aunt finally took charge and took him to the hospital. Brain scan was done. Turns out he had a lot of tiny brain bleeds. Probably over the course of several years. Don't ignore personality changes, no matter how slowly they progress.
Sometimes I get this weird feeling like everything is going in slow-mo. In contrast, I feel like everything I do is at normal speed. My brain just wants me to do stuff and I feel this burst of energy that makes me feel great. However, there is always a moment where I feel like I should keep moving because if I stop something bad will happen to me. Usually lasts a few minutes tops. When I manage to calm down, everything goes back to normal. Has been happening since I'm a kid. 24 now and still happens every year.
The bags under my eyes get purple sometimes. I got a bit of a farmer's tan, but the parts of my skin that are exposed to the sun are like an olive color. Some days I look as pale as a dead man but feel perfectly fine. My right testicle randomly hurts. I started balding at 16. Sometimes it feels like my heart skips a beat, but that actually went away. I hear people arguing when I try to fall asleep. Well, I don't think it's really a problem worth getting worried over. But it's something that I always thought wasn't really normal. I get this really weird feeling in my brain sometimes that's incredibly hard to describe, which is honestly why I've never talked to anyone about it. It's like a brain shiver, like when you get the chills, but it's only happening inside your skull and not the rest of your body. There's also a weird, almost squeaky sound in my ears when it happens too. When I was little, I used to think it was my brain getting another wrinkle cause I learned something that made me smarter. LMAO. Edit. To clarify, there no physical sensation that happens, no goosebumps or anything like that. Chills are just the closest thing I could think of to compare it to. It's literally just a quick feeling in the middle of my brain that doesn't travel down my body or anything like that. Just a second or two and then it's over. Edit. I know it sounds similar to brain zaps people get when coming off antidepressants. And I'm assuming it feels the same way, but this has happened for as long as I can remember. WAAAAAY before I ever took any medications for anything. And it still happens even now that I'm in stuff for anxiety. Edit. It's not ASMR. They're two completely different feelings. ASMR is a pleasant, skin tingly feeling. This is like someone poking my brain and it makes a squishy sound. Or a momentary brain short circuit. It's not in any way a nice feeling or caused by the same stuff ASMR is. Stop PMing me saying it's just ASMR.
Just about every time I step outside on a bright day I have to sneeze.
Me too. And whenever I feel like I have to sneeze but it's stuck, I glance up quickly at the sun or a reflective surface. Works every time.
It's called a photic sneeze, URL redacted, wiki, photic_sneeze_reflex, and is actually quite common.
Photic sneeze reflex.
I don't breathe right. You know how you barely breathe. Maybe for 2 seconds in and 2 seconds out, so it looks like you're not breathing. AKA, sort of like how you're taught to breathe in choir while singing. I breathe like that. I didn't think much of it, but I also have chronic medical migraines. I recently realized that if I inhale deeper, expanding my lungs fully. Why no, like how most people breathe, it hurts to stretch them and I get a little dizzy. But it also feels good. Like I just saved some brain cells dying from lack of oxygen, lol. Just like a sudden rush to my brain. Edit. What the fuck, this blew up. And 2 golds and 3 silvers for my reply? This was only my second time on Reddit. I asked and my mommy said that I have anxiety, but I told her that I can make friends easily and talk to strangers, but apparently social anxiety and anxiety are 2 different things? Question mark. Question mark. Question mark.
This is serious. See a doctor.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to support the channel, and above all, have an excellent day, you wonderful people.